Kejela Meghalaya haka khat santri unai lor araja arpusan kala yo ban ai kublai khat du yo Dr. Didi Lapang Menteri Rangba Barim jong jela haka jinglai on tap dan buram lane ke state funeral balapen long dak sarkar jela hamaran student jayau. Haka negesngi lawan panishimpen talang do Menteri Rangba kejela ukonrat kesangma uba HS thank you Chief Justice ke Meghalaya High Court ki bahi ngasam u Dr. Didi Lapang haringkat ke jingadan lang ki Menteri Sarkar ki noilam jong ki sengsan hima baper ki officer ke sarkar jela nalor ki wei de. Nakaliang Kyrwoh pau khmat ke jela nalor ki wei pan kilabu sentiu haka senduk Dr. Didi Lapang kebalatap dan buram dak lama lairong jonggari India. Hagane gesngi lalapan sakhiru yak jingwan poi ki brio na keleng ke jela ki balawan ban ai kublai khat du yaw Dr. Didi Lapang haswa ban lej on tap dan buram yak mat basa jong u haulum jing tap ke balang Presbyterian jayau. Haba Jingkyrmen hak Jingaiei Menteri Rangba ulaong baka jingklat jong Dr. Didi Lapang kamdai setia tang jong usimen henry jong kejela hi berok away. Nalor kita ulaong bau dai ru unongkran ubadan ya kabor bat wasakri dak Jingsngewrit.
He was a man whose humble beginnings were matched only by the towering legacy he leaves behind. We remember a son of the soil who walked from the dust of the roadside as a laborer, rose to the ranks with grit and grace, and led our people through some of the most challenging chapters of our history. His journey was not his alone. It was the journey of Meghalaya itself. From the early days of statehood to moments of celebration, from seasons of uncertainty to days of hope, Dr. Lapang stood as an anchor, steady, humane, and steadfast. I have known Dr. Lapang since I was a young boy, through my late father, late Shri P.A. Sangma. Many years later, I had the privilege of serving alongside him in the Meghalaya Legislative Assembly. A powerful orator, he served with distinction as Minister of State, Cabinet Minister, Chief Minister, and Leader of Opposition. His voice echoed in the halls of Meghalaya Legislative Assembly. But it also reached the last mile. He believed fiercely in dialogue. He chose peace over posturing and development rooted in our identity. He taught that leadership is not position, it is service. Service that persists when applause fades, that stands beside the last person in the line, that offers patience and dignity to the least among us. In honoring his life, we recall the work that had his imprint and his courage when he served as a Chief Minister of our state. He strengthened administration and invested in youth by upgrading Ribhoy and Bakbara into districts, forming the Cabinet Committee on Youth Affairs, transferring NCC and NSS to Sports and Youth Affairs Department, and creating the Fish Farmers Development Agency. He promoted inclusivity and justice through the Meghalaya State Commission for Women Bill, rules safeguarding persons with disabilities, reservation of posts for the disabled and sports persons, and the establishment of permanent Lok Adalats. He also paved the way for peace through the ceasefire agreement with the ANDC. Dr. Lapang built enduring institutions with the Meghalaya Infrastructure Development Board, the Medicinal Plants Board, and group of ministers for coordinated governance. He enacted the compulsory registration of marriage bill and partnered with the ROCO Cancer Charitable Trust to bring mobile cancer detection to the people. To recount the full scope of Dr. Lapang's achievements, would require far more time and space than this tribute can afford. And even then, would not do justice to the legacy of a man who dedicated his life to the service of Meghalaya and its people. I have often looked up to Dr. Lapang's wisdom and experience. He was a statesman, unafraid to confront hardship with honesty and relentless in bridge building over division. His legacy is not measured in years or titles, but in the thousands of lives he touched. Today, we must carry forward his vision, a Meghalaya at peace with itself, united in purpose and soaring together, never leaving anyone behind. Let us honor Dr. Lapang not with words alone, but with our work. Not with promises alone, but with perseverance. On behalf of a grateful state, we bow our heads in reverence. Thank you, Dr. Lapang, for your dedicated service and for guiding us through your leadership. May the Almighty grant him eternal rest and provide strength to the bereaved family. May Dr. Lapang's memory be a guiding light for all in the years to come. Rest in eternal peace, Sir Lapang.
Nakaliang uba Preston tensong ulaong baka jing klat no Dr. Didi Lapang kade ke jing do nong ka bakraw ya kejela namar ki senyang ki bolan no saka nalor kata ulaong na pedeng ki babun ki senyang jong u un yai kan mau yo Dr. Didi Lapang kum unong pratlenti bahak mat hagaban seng ya ki babun ki jaka puli bat ki seng Tremon ngobha hapo kejela ki belaya ram haga jing ki usaprang bat ka roi kapar kejela Meghalaya.
The challenges he faced in life from early age never restricted his determination to overcome, but rather became a springboard that shaped his determination, his strength and his resilience. Among the many contributions he will be remembered for, he was noted for establishing many educational institutions and welfare organizations across the state and in particular in Kyrwoh district. Late Dr. Didi Lapang formally joined the National People's Party on December 10, 2018. This event was not a sudden or impulsive decision on his part, but the result of several rounds of discussions. Prior to his joining the party, I had an opportunity to meet him on many occasions. We discussed at length the future direction and all-round development of our state. Probably these were very strong reasons for the late Dr. Didi Lapang to consider joining the party. In his own words, he told me, Preston, I'm going to end my political journey with this party. Friends, his words has really happened today. I fondly remember my personal association with him in the year 2003 I've been elected as MLA for this first time. It was late Dr. Didi Lapang who appointed me as Minister of State to assist him in planning and industries department. This decision that late Dr. Lapang took gave me the opportunity to serve the state and gain the required experience in administration through his guidance. I cherish my association with Dr. Didi Lapang for his foresight, his forthrightness, and above all, his friendship. He will be remembered in years to come as a statesman who immensely contributed to the growth and development of the state after its formation in 1972. Therefore, my sincerest and deepest condolences go out to his wife, Kong Amethyst Linda Junsla, children, grandchildren, relatives. May the Almighty grant them peace and strength at this time of loss and sorrow.
Haka Jingkyrmen jong Dr. Mukul Sangma, lala ban yo sngo ya ka Jingpen sngo ya ka Jinglong Bayaisha jong Dr. Didi Lapang, ka Jingyai Minat, ba ka Jing Treshitam, ki badai ki Jinglong Bakongsan, ka bapen yo ya u ya ka Jingshania, bat ka Jingsngewrit scam jong ki Paralok baya Trailang.
He was blessed with position, honor, authority, power, and privileges to serve us all and to put his hands together with the rest of the leaders to build this beautiful state and shape the future of the state. Not many of the leaders had such a long innings of public service, and we are grateful to God that Dr. Didi Lapang was blessed with extraordinary opportunity, and that he, till his age, when many would have given up, continued to serve us and didn't show any sign of political or physical fatigue, nor gave up his pursuit to achieve his set mission and vision of setting the future of the state for the future of our children and grandchildren. I, with my political aspirations, I keenly watched many of the leaders before I stepped into politics. And Dr. Didi Lapang was one of them whom I keenly watched as I was preparing myself to step into active politics. When I got re-elected for the second time in 1998, Dr. Lapang, after his absence from the Assembly for one term between 1993 and 1998, assumed upon himself the leadership of our Congress Legislative Party. And from that time onward, he carried his team, all of us, creating space and opportunity for every one of us in the whole political spectrum, for those who are in political circulation, to be part of the great story of building this beautiful state of ours. At the age of 69, in 1998, to fight the election after his defeat in 1993 was in itself testimony of his determination and resolve to continue doing what he likes best. To continue with his, as you would always fondly refer, as his mission and vision of serving people. While at that age many would have decided to call it a day, age was no barrier for this great leader, nor a deterrent, and the state was privileged to have Dr. Didi Lapang, who came back with a bang to continue his charted path in pursuit of his mission and vision and thus became integral part of Meghalaya's growth and development story. He was a leader who would never shy away from hand-holding and nurturing his colleagues, despite our shortcomings. And with his empathy and understanding, he won the love, trust, and confidence of his comrades and colleagues in politics. Patience, perseverance, consistency, and hard work was his trademark. He would accept failures with grace, but pursue the goal of leveraging upon the lessons learned from failures to achieve the goal that he set before him. He was a man for whom giving up was not part of his way of life. For him, failure was only an attempt, and he would continue from there to achieve his set goals. He was one of the rarest of the rare political leaders who perfected his art of accommodative politics, creating space for everyone to be productive and to be part of this great story of developing this great state. There was a time when the spirit and skill of accommodative politics enabled almost every one of the legislators who were in circulation to be part of the cabinet. There was a time when the strength of our cabinet in the state was increased to 42. I remember how he skillfully managed to accommodate all our aspiring MLAs to be members of the cabinet, which would have been something called impossible for other leaders. He managed to even divide portfolios. I think we'll all remember when he tried to accommodate almost all aspiring MLAs to be members of the cabinet.
Ukun jong Dr. Didi Lapang uba BR bla hak Jingkyrmen khadu ulapen kan mau ya ki Jingkyrmen ki bula yo nau kpa hagi ba buon ki liang hak Jingem jong u nolor kata ulaong bo kpa jong u ulakit ya ki Jingkyrmen jong ka Meghalaya da ka Jingaiei bat ka Jingsngewrit khlam daklat ya la ki ten rai.
My father, Dr. Kyrwoh Lapang, was born into a simple circumstances. He began his journey as a road walker, and through pure determination and hard work, rose to become the Chief Minister of Meghalaya, not once, but 5 times. But to me and to our family, he was never defined by his titles. He was defined by his kindness, his wisdom, and his quiet strength. My father once told me, son, the measure of a man is not how high he climbs, but how many people he helps climb with him. These words shaped not just my understanding of him, but what of its true leadership means. He taught me that leadership is not about power, it's about service. I watched him walk through the villages of Kyrwoh, not as a politician seeking votes, but as a son of the soil, listening to the heartbeat of his people. He never forget where he came from, and he never let us forget either. Before politics called him, my father was a teacher in Kyrwoh. Not even when he became Chief Minister, he never stopped being a teacher. He believed that education was the greatest gift you could give someone. I remember him saying, knowledge is like a lamp in the darkness. It shows you the way and help others to find their path too. He lived by these words. He believed in the dignity of all work. whether it was building roads, farming fields, or running the government. Even in his final years as chief advisor to the government, he carried the hopes of Meghalaya with grace and humility. He never stopped learning, and he never stopped teaching either. As much as my father was a man of politics and principles, he was also about without apology. A food lover, even if you shared a meal with him, you know his eyes lit up at the sight of a wang tang san, which is yam cooked in a barrel of bamboo. That means yet wonderful dish of dried fish and black sesame seed that only someone with true Bhai roots would crave with such passion. And don't get me started on this for the love of Japana, that is sticky rice. He swore it cured everything from a bad mood to election stress. He had this amazing ability to turn even the simplest meal into a celebration. Food was his way of connecting with people, of showing love, of building bridges. These moments remind us that great leaders are also human beings, who find joy in simple pleasures, who laugh, who share stories over meals, who find comfort in the tradition of their homeland. To the world, he was a statesman. To me, he was my father. The man who held my hand when I stumbled, who taught me to speak with honesty, and showed me true greatness lies in helping others rise. He taught me that your roots matter, no matter how far you go in life. Never forget where you come from. He taught me that listening is more important than speaking, and serving others is more important than being served. There's a beautiful saying, a society grows great when old men plant trees, whose shades they know they shall never sit in. My father planted many trees, the road, the schools, the opportunities he created. These are the trees whose shade will comfort generations to come. As we mourn for his passing today, let us also celebrate his life and legacy. Let us remember the roads he helped build, not just the ones made of stones and cement, but the one made with opportunity, justice, and hope. He showed us that you don't need to be born into a privilege to make a difference. You don't need to forget your humble beginnings to achieve great things. You can stay connected to your people, your culture, your values, and still reach the highest office in the land. His office his life proves that in democracy, anyone's child can grow up to lead, to serve, to make their community and state better. My father's favorite quote was simple but powerful. Work hard, stay humble, and always remember you are here to serve, not to be served. He lived these words every single day of his life. As I look out of this gathering today, people from every walk of life, from every corner of Meghalaya, from different political parties and belief, I see the true measure of my father's impact. He brought people together to build bridges, not walls. Farewell, Pa. You may have run your race with honor and dignity. Your voice may be silent now, but your spirit echoes in every hill and valley of this land you love so deeply. A boy who once walked on road grew up to build pathways of hope for millions. A teacher who started a small school in Nampo ended up educating an entire state about service, humility, and love. You told us that greatness is not what about titles you hold, but about what the lives you touch. You touch so many lives past. And through all of us here today, your work continues. Thank you, God, for showing us what it means to serve with dignity, to lead with humility, and to love without limits.
Kerak so giwe tu.
Habatin, pej bahagi kishap, kashap plus F.
Ka plus F?
Hakabam bangibam dunaki eki batay kamet. Namar kata habathiru atau kau kamlu ka umpnyang kadut pej ya kashap plus F haka jingsom. Yaki nutrient kumki vitamin bat ka ayan la icon diat bat ka bathau bha kam khta ka dur jingki marbam ka jing mat lani ka rukom shed yaki balehi banai kita kadon ka we ka jing mentoy ba kongsan ka kot ka khia ka nutrition ba khambha ka jing im ba khambha pendon kam daki marbam madon ka sharp plus F menta kasni
Lawan Ra Shapi Lingba ko office jong Commissionerate of Food Safety Meghalaya